The video games industry is one of the fastest growing industries in this country. Globally, it's already bigger than the films and the music industries. But the failure rate of video game companies are also very high. Even for the companies that do survive, actually a small proportion of those companies make most of the money. So it's a very exciting industry to be in, but also it's also very volatile.
How easy is it to be entrepreneurial in the current economic climate? It's a very good question. On the one hand, people want to conform in order to be like the other people in the hope of not losing their job or doing something wrong. On the other hand, you need to do something different in order to actually make yourself above the crowd. No longer is entrepreneurial just about being innovative to one group of customers, it's about innovative to multiple groups of customers at the same time.
I think there's still doubt about whether they're an economic power, that's for sure. I think many of the older generation, past middle age, have not experienced these to start off with, but also who still think of culture and cultural activities as somehow inferior in some way. I think that's still an ask. However, I don't think there's ever been a problem really in relation to the cultural and creative aspect of games and their acceptance across the whole field of cultural and creative activities. And there are lots of examples of way that these filter through into fine art activities, installations, etc. And I think that's a relatively easy point. And I think they're leading to the development of all sorts of inventive forms of fine art creation, as well as the commercialized aspect as well.
I think the video game industry is a classic example of how we need to understand materials as being a state of mind. Products go out of fashion, ideas go out of fashion, movies become stale and old, but in order to keep a business sustained, it's not the same as a product. You have to have a mental mindset that says we need to change and adapt and be creative and innovative. In the video games industry and many other industries, people were largely vertically integrated. Now we have to become more involved in other people in a networked organization. Business model innovation, managerial innovation, that's the way that companies grow and become successful over the long term.
We received research funding from the EPSRC and the ESRC to look at new economic models for digital games. We are looking at the games not only aimed for recreation and entertainment, like the traditional digital games, but also digital games that are developed to address more serious objectives, social objectives, therapeutic objectives, and scientific objectives.
So we're seeing younger and younger people getting interested in code. Young people are already downloading apps and using them to play games, and there's a real interest in actually developing your own game using code as the way to do it. Now, in computer games, there are game engines that people can use which don't require very deep levels of programming, where young people can make computer games and then play them. So we're seeing more and more of this as time goes on.
Spaceships, asteroids and space dust. Not the usual checklist to beat cancer. Until now.
So the Game Jam project was something we organised with Cancer Research. There was about 90 people on the day, and about half of those were students from City University. And the idea was that we wanted to use all the time that people spend playing games in actually doing something important. So the way that it works is that as you're flying through that asteroid field, when you navigate your ship to the left or the right to pick up more of the fuel that you're looking for, as you move left and right, those left and right movements actually show where the anomalies in the data are. They show where mutations are in the genome. So that directly translates to things that we can cancer research can use to find those mutations, and then we can map those to the cancer data.